All right, peace, y'all. Tiff Grimes, we're supposed to connect. For sure. Let's do it. Email me, please, at acreboyzz@gmail.com. And let's talk about it. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know what part of the world you are on, but it's cold as hell where I'm at. And we're in New York right now. And it's mean and vicious out there. Jack Frost is out there, so it is cuffing season. I hope you're somewhere warm under a blanket with your loved ones and doing whatever you're doing to enjoy this Super Bowl Sunday. Me, I will watch the game, but being totally transparent, these days I got tunnel vision. I don't really partake in too many other things than what we have going on. So I just recently found out who was even playing in the Super Bowl. So excuse me for that. And that is my recommendation when you're trying to do anything of significance, anything of importance, anything of substance. You're going to have to get tunnel vision. And one thing that I will say before I get off of that is I'm sure that anyone, any of those players on those teams, they ain't coming checking for me and they ain't coming checking for you. So have at your Super Bowl. I don't really care who win. Let's focus on what we have to focus on. And that's how we move the needle, right? That's going to hit home with some people, and some people going to say, yo, Ray, you bugging. I'm watching the Super Bowl. Have at it. It's your life. Customize it as you fit, as you feel, should I say. All right. I do have to say congratulations to the Acre Boyzz. We hit 400,000 followers on Facebook. When I say 400,000 followers, that's a lot of followers, and we don't run ads. This is all organic. So thank you to the people. The people is who make us, and that's a huge deal. Me and my partner, we will celebrate that one way in some shape, form, or fashion really soon. But congratulations to us. Thank you for the people once again, because if you don't speak, then this message is not pushed. So it is not unnoticed. No people, no us. So thank you for everybody that has shared a post. Thank you for everybody that has commented on the post. Thank you for everybody that has showed up to a Zoom, to a webinar, however you have interacted with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is deeply appreciated. Now, let's have this conversation about who are the Acre Boyzz. Let's just take it back to the beginning. I hope you have some time to spend with me today, because let's just take it back to the beginning. The audience is always continuing to grow, and this is broken down into three parts, right? When you have a growing audience, and it's a revolving door. So you have people that's always coming in. They're new people. They really don't have a clue about who you are. They've saw a post, it intrigued them, it made them stop, and made them follow. Then you have people that's in the middle of the journey that may know a couple of things about what we do. Oh, I know they're into land investing, but they probably don't really know everything about us in full totality of what we do or what we offer. Then you have people that's much further along the journey, that has been with us since, a year or two or more, right? And those people kind of know who we are, what we do. They're in full support, whether they're in the paid community or not. Some people just want to support the message of land ownership. All three are welcome. So we're going to start from the beginning of the Acre Boyzz. And when I tell this story, I want you to envision yourself as being a participant or a character in this story, because I always say, I am you, you are me, we are all the same. We didn't do anything special to get to this point. It was just certain little things that went into this recipe that has brought us to this day. So 9 years ago, me and my partner, like many people, we were looking to find some ways and means, alternative cash to help supplement our 9-to-5 earnings. And we stumbled into this world called tax deed investing. And we took a mentorship, meaning that we paid someone to teach us about something that was called tax deed investing. I had no clue 9 years ago what tax deed investing was. I didn't even know this was an industry. I didn't know this was a business. I heard of land, and I had heard of real estate and all of those things, but I didn't know that this was a business. He simply told us, I'm going to show you where you can buy properties from the auction, and I'm going to show you how you can get them for pennies on a dollar. Now, if you have just a little bit of common sense, that probably resonates with you, right? So tell me more. And we paid the mentorship. He broke down to us about the world of tax deed investing. Tax deed investing is when homeowners, whether you own a piece of land or whether you own a property, you're responsible for paying taxes on that property. When you don't pay the taxes, like a percentage of the population every year, they don't pay their taxes, so they lose their properties to the county, state, or local municipality. But guess what? County, state, or local municipality, they're not in the business of owning properties. They're in the business of collecting tax dollars. Some of you may have heard me explain this before, but I have to. Remember, it's always a revolving door. Someone's always new. So I have to always reiterate these things just to bring everybody up to speed. By the way, comment the word acres. Today we did a post about family compound, and it just went stupid. It got like 3 million views, and the day is only a quarter of the way over. And it says to us we need to have a further conversation about that, which we will. I will have one further conversation about family compound. See, we're working on Super Bowl Sunday, 2 o'clock. I'm going live on Zoom, but you must be a member. You must be a member. We'll go live on Zoom at 2 p.m. That call is set to go out. So I got 20 more minutes to spend with you here. Then we'll head over to the private members or the private room. And we'll have this deep conversation about family compounds, how to get involved to a family compound, everything that goes into getting a family compound. So comment the word acres if you want to be on that call. The difference between these lives is I can see what you text me, but we cannot interact with one another. On that live and the private room, when we go to Zoom, you'll be able to talk to me directly. And I get paid these days for people to talk to me directly. So for comment the word acres if you like to be on that call. I'm very generous. I'm very approachable. You can ask me anything. I'll answer. I'm not the guy that's looking to upsell you. I'll answer your questions, but you have to be there. You have to be on the call, and you have to be in the room. You have to be a member to participate. So comment the word acres to get on that phone call at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. So as I was stating, we came into this world, tax deed investing, tax deed, the business of tax deed investing. And we did really well. So I always say when opportunity knocks, you should probably answer the door. Most of you don't even know that this is an opportunity, because this is why we call it entry-level investing, because everyday people can come into this space as new beginners and they can test the waters at minimal investments. Well, if you know, you know. I say minimal investments because we have researched and we have extracted places that you can invest from a tax deed standpoint for less than $1,500, for less than $2,000, for less than $3,000. Most people are unaware that these places exist. And no, this is not a cheap industry, because this can go as high as you like it to go, right? You can buy a tax deed for $100,000, $200,000. They're all over the place. But we've just done a great job at identifying the places that average people can get started from for those low denominations, right? Because when you're new and you're testing the thing out, you don't want to come out the gate and have to come out of pocket with $20,000 and $30,000. But most people probably would take a chance at it if they knew they could buy land for $1,500, for $2,000, and things like that, and numbers of that sort. See, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, when we came into the space, I guess we were lucky. Or did we come in when the time was right? Timing, opportunity, all of these things play a part in the recipe of success. So 9 years ago, we came into it buying properties for, and I'm almost ashamed to say it these days because it almost sounds like this could be a fib, but it is not, because I've shown the deeds before. We came into it, we were buying properties for $50. That's right, 50 whole dollars. And if you knew about it 9 years ago, you would have been able to buy them for that price too, because it was so many of them. It was thousands of properties for $50. My mentors was buying them for $50, so many that they bought that they were able to still spread love with us and let us go and get some. We were buying for $50 and selling for $2,500. Buying for $50, the highest one we sold was for $3,800. That's like a $3,700 ROI on your money. It's a no-brainer. And this is where we got our start from. And me being who I am, right? I got a little hustle in me. When they told me that, I quickly saw the vision of how I can scale and grow. And this is how we were able to begin to think about firing our 9-to-5 jobs, because we started buying these in abundance, as you should if you knew about it. And then we start selling them in abundance. This is why I always preach, target bad areas. It's money in bad areas, because don't think this land that we was buying for $50 was good or in a good area. It was in what they deemed to be a bad area. However, if a bad area has movement, and you probably heard me say this before, if a bad area has movement, participate, right? Who's going to buy the land in the bad area? Only the people that live there. Who else would want it? So if you identify a bad area and it has movement, let me clarify what movement is. Movement is things going on the market, things coming on the market, things for sale, and things that have sold. Then buy it. There's plenty areas that they say are bad areas that have movement. Memphis, Tennessee is one of those areas that you can buy land for inexpensive prices, and there's plenty of movement, plenty of people investing, plenty of people buying in that area. This I know for a fact, because this is where I got my start from. So that's tax deed investing. Tax deed investing is something that we teach. We give our community the list. So when you come into our land and legacy community, which is our paid community, where we hyper focus on buying and selling land, because we are what's called land flippers. This is what we do for a living. We buy land for discounted prices, then we put it back on the market for full market price, right? So we give you these lists. I personally have gone through the list and assured that it's a decent list to present to my audience. Some of these, a good portion of them, I personally have invested in myself. So this is not by theory, right? You're not buying land or I'm pulling a rabbit out the hat. This is something that I personally have lived. This is places that I personally have invested in. So I give it to my community, because I don't really do a lot of tax deed investing these days. And I'll explain why, because I went on to do bigger deals, as you should. You don't spend time in anything and shouldn't grow. So we have grown up into this space. When we were doing tax deed investing, you see the name Acre Boyzz? We wasn't the Acre Boyzz yet. We was just two guys that were working 9-to-5 jobs that had stumbled into an industry and that was having a little bit of success in it. Then we start saying, well, how do we grow? Where do we go from here? So guess what we did? We took another mentorship. So now you heard me say twice that I paid for 2 separate mentorships to learn this game. In all total transparency, my second mentorship, I came into a room about 500 to 700 all white people. Me and my partner were the only 2 people of color in that room. And they taught us well. They gave us the game inside and out. And this is how we started to develop into doing bigger deals and buying acres. Mentorship. So when you hear me talk, that's one thing that you always hear me suggest. Mentorship. Find somebody that has done the thing that you are looking to do and pay that person the premium so you can expedite the time of you trying to figure it out on your own. Or you can continue to explore and piece it together. See, when you're exploring, right? This is what a lot of people try to do. When you're exploring, it's like having like a puzzle. You ever seen, if you bought a puzzle, anybody ever bought a brand new box, a puzzle to put together? Then you dump those pieces out on there. You can see the box that's telling you what the picture should be, but now you got to go and sort after all of these little pieces, and you'll find 1 or 2 that fit. You may find 3 or 4, then you find 5 or 6, but it may take you weeks. Who has that kind of time when you don't have to? As my partner would say, there's no trophies for figuring out this stuff on your own when you don't have to. Just find somebody that has done the thing so you can expedite the learning curve. Now, I do know, and I am aware that people that sell courses and course creators and things like that, a lot of them, once you get in, there's always an upcharge. Or once you get in, it's only entry level knowledge that they're providing. Then they want more money to take you to another level to get more information. We're not those people, though. Once you're in with us, you're in. I give you the same game that I give myself. I give you the same language that has allowed me to close over 500 deals. I give you the same paperwork that has allowed us to do over 500 deals. In fact, I even take it a step further. We have weekly training. On those weekly training calls, I suggest that if you're new and you're unsure, bring it to me first. Let me co-sign your deal. Let me look at your deal and say, good deal, bad deal, green light, red light. That's it. So that's why I'm always screaming mentorship. Then, because education is something that no one can take away from you. Once you have it, you pay a one-time fee. And once you have it, same way we did, I paid for mentorship 9 years ago. And it has brought me to this point. Do I pay a monthly fee? Absolutely, I do pay a monthly fee, but that's not the point. All right, so we started doing bigger deals. That's called direct to owner. Direct to owner is where we go direct to landowners across the country in any given county at any given time. Now I take it a step further. I don't really talk about it so much when I'm on social media because I don't want to lose people, but I could break this down. See, we took back the power. This is why I said I don't do a lot of tax deed investing, because now I took back the power when I go direct to owner, meaning that auctions tell me when I can bid. Auctions tell me how much I can bid. Auctions tell me the rules that they're looking for me to abide by. When I go direct to owner, I do what I want to do. I go after any acreage size that I want to go after, whenever I want to go after it. And I offer whatever I feel I want to pay for it. So now we've taken back all of the power. So if an area is going for $100,000, and as a land flipper, I know I want to make money, I at least like to double my money. What should my offer be? You have to position it. Now we're getting in front of it on the front end. So if it was going for $100,000, my offer would probably be like $35,000, $40,000, leaving me $60,000 equity inside of the offer. If someone accepted the offer, as they have many times, that's how we completed 500 deals. Now I have effectively created $60,000 equity. I put it back on the market. How much do you think I'm listing it for? I'm listing it for the going price of $100,000. And this is how we come home with checks of $40,000, $50,000 using that formula right there. All right. So comment the word acres and direct to owner. This is how you get your family compounds for a discounted price. One or two ways you can go about getting your family compound. And we're going to have a deeper conversation in the private community in about 8 minutes. We'll have a deeper conversation about this family compound, but I'll just start off saying what I'm going to say when I get there. One or two ways you can go about getting it. You can go on the market and find land, right? And you can pay what the going rate is, or you can use our approach of finding land and pay a discounted price for your land. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't know what your budget is or anything. I just know if it were me, I like to get it at a discounted price. If it was me, it's my personal opinion. So comment acres, come into our private community. Really good community. This is not the community where we hyper focus on buying and selling land. This is the community that we have deeper conversations about land, deeper conversations about things like family compounds, right? We talk about farming in there. We talk about healthy living in there. We have a book club inside of there, right? We talk about all of those things in there. We go live inside of that room. Everything that we discuss, we don't actually put on social media. So this is why we curated this private room. So as you're going to see, if you come on at 2 o'clock, it'll be different. We'll be behind you can talk to me. That's what I'm saying. I have more. It's just like I said with the direct to owner thing. I have more flexibility once we're behind. So comment acres. Come inside of the room. We're going live in approximately 6 minutes. Once you get inside of the room, let me explain this because I do take for granted that people know how to even get the link. All right. If you commented the word acres, check your DM, check your inbox. A message will be sent to you asking you to join our Acres community. Get yourself signed up, join the community. Once you're in the community, you'll see at the top in the community room, you'll see a Zoom link that says we're going live at 2 p.m. Just click on the Zoom link, join the call. All right. And I'm going to give myself 5 minutes just to take a breather, and we'll go live in that room. So for you Super Bowl goers, hope you enjoy the Super Bowl. I hope your team wins. But right now, I'm like Jay-Z had a line. I'm Michael Jordan. I play for the team I own. Only team that I'm concerned with right now is my team. So I'll see y'all in there at 2 p.m. In fact, 5 minutes. Peace, love.